Hiya, and welcome back to Password, the game that teaches us that... There is a fine line between acting and pretending to be someone you're not. There is a fine line between that. And Haas has apparently crossed that line. Anyways, let's just hop right in. I left the pool and shook myself dry enough to wander back inside, while Haas quickly toweled off and grabbed his clothes to follow suit. Are you going to manage getting all the chlorine out? I think so. I guess I just better be real thorough. You sure you can reach everywhere? Happy to lend a hand if you want. Whoa. Really? Sure, just two guys getting clean together. Nothing wrong with that. I can't believe you just said that with a straight face. Hey, I'm used to helping wash my little brother and sister. Doesn't have to be anything more than that. I think I'll be fine. This time at least. Well, alright. But I'll be checking tomorrow. If you've missed a spot, then I'm getting in with you and making sure you scrub properly. Okay, fine. We split up and I took a shower. I was fairly certain I was thorough, especially considering I was in there until the water went cold scrubbing my back with the brush. After a quick blow dry, I changed into some comfy clothes for the evening and went to see what people were doing for dinner. Sure enough, here was Orlando, reheating some leftovers, although there wasn't any sign of anyone else. Hungry, Dave? I could eat. Do we still have leftover pizza? Yep, not a whole lot, but enough for you and maybe one other person. Everyone else has been and gone already, so it's just you left to dig in. Everyone's already eaten? Yup, Hoff and Tyson were in here last, talking about something. It was strange. I didn't think I'd see those two getting on. I think Tyson was even smiling. Huh, that's actually kind of cool. Maybe Hoss found something he and Ty have in common. Seemed that way. I think they were going to go work out or something. Huh. Well, I think Hoss is going to ask Ty some questions about something. Wouldn't give me specifics. Oh, okay. Orlando pulled some pizza out of the microwave and poked it, checking its temperature with a brief frown before putting it back in for another minute. Go grab some of the pizza and I'll heat it up for you. Did you have plans for this evening? I wandered over to the fridge and pulled out a large plate that seemed to have a whole pizza still on it. There was another one in the fridge. You said there was enough for just one person, right? Hiya. Yeah, why? Orlando, there's a whole extra pizza in there. How much pizza do you think people eat? Oh, sounds not for us. Well, it can be, but Benson asked if there'd be any left over. What, Benson wants pizza now? Maybe. I didn't pick him for the type, but he was polite about asking if any would be available. Almost as if he was asking on behalf of someone else, really. Oh, well, alright then. Here. Orlando swapped the plates over, gesturing to the plate of hot pizza. Dig in. I can wait for this lot. Thanks! I went to grab a slice and I had to try and scoop it in such a way that all the cheese didn't just drip off onto the plate. By the time I had it halfway to my mouth, I noticed Orlando looking at me expectantly. What? You didn't answer the question. Oh, no plans, I guess? Want to hang out? Hell yeah, what did you want to do? I don't know, you can pick. Want to go off the DVD or something and have some guy talk? Do you mean talking about guys? What else could I have meant? So let me just heat this up and we can go get a DVD. They still use DVDs. So, what did you want to watch anyway? Oh, whatever really, just to have some background noise. Alright, I'll just throw in some random animation thing then. Once we were both comfortable, it took about 5 minutes before Orlando started things off. So, you and Hoff, huh? Just thinking about how that sort of relationship would go. Guy talk versus talking about guys. Why not both? There's nothing gay about it. I actually did have a guy talk with a straight guy, like, in case you didn't know, I don't make it, I don't hide it that much, I'm gay. I have had a guy talk with a straight guy. talk was terrifying. It was genuinely... Like, okay. Actually, it wasn't that terrifying. It wasn't that terrifying. It was actually pretty calm. But some of the shit me and him did as friends was... Get your mind out of the gutter. I feel like you're going out of the gutter. The thing. I feel like get your mind out of the gutter. Some of the shit that we did as friends was absolutely terrifying. There was the whole, oh, Sam. There's a shit with Sam. We had one good idea. Shut the hell up. We had one good idea. And it quite literally took us 2 hours. And it was a curtain. It took us 2 hours to make a curtain. Shut the hell up. We didn't do that. Shut the hell up. No, we didn't. We did not do that. If you want further proof, ask him. Just asking the thing about how the sort of relationship would go. Wait, what? Yeah, like, I guess he's fine, but a little full-on, don't you think? Oh, iterations. There were, like, 7 iterations. And it took, like, 20 minutes per iteration. I mean, sure, but it's funny you say that. Apparently he's been half pretending this whole time. I was having trouble following exactly what was going on. Are we sure that I'm making you think that? Are we absolutely certain that I'm making you think that? We are all furries. We are all LGBT furries in some way, shape, or form who play visual novels that are hilariously suspicious. Are we sure that I'm the one making you think that way? Are we sure that I'm the one doing that? Because I'm pretty sure that the thoughts were already there. He made a dig at Tyson and I think asked me out. It was strange. How do you not know if he asked you out or not? It was something along the lines of him wanting to know more about him or something. Ooh! Found the thing. Is he going for the man of mystery angle? Still, gonna say yes. Have you not spent the last 2 years? What? Let the gay thoughts consume you. You're one of those LGBT. Gonna say yes. Are we gonna say yes to Haas? The mouth assets are actually from Animal Crossing. Fuck it, let's be gay. We're gonna be gay. At least I think so. It's hard to say, but I think a lot of how it plays out will depend on what its true self of his turns out to be. What about you and Sal? How's that going? Wait, what? We're not dating! Sorry, I meant about the scavenger hunt, given he's your partner and all. Last I heard, you didn't have your eyes on anyone. Orlando was terrible at keeping his composure. And I felt it worth prying, given how nervous he seemed to be. Unless you and Sal are dating. No, don't be silly. Although I do think I'm crushing a little bit. Is that bad? Have you told him? I don't think he's picked up on it yet. I was hoping to be subtle. I don't even know if he's, well, you know. I'm assuming so. Probably a big assumption, but it's never come up before. Maybe you should just ask him straight up and see what he says. Ugh, you're right. There's no way around it, is there? Hey, worst he can do is say he's not interested. It's better to know now so you can laugh it off later as friends, right? Yeah, I think that's not a bad way to think about it. I'll probably need some time to work the cards up, but I'll ask him, promise. But if it goes well, I'll come running with treats for days. Just remember, it could go the other way. And if it does, so long as I can come to you and get a hug to make me feel better after, I think I'll be alright. Orlando got comfy in his beanbag before sniffing the air. Does that smell? Huh? You smell like the swimming pool. Make sure you wash that chlorine out. Fuck. I grumbled, thinking that I'd washed thoroughly enough, but I guess I'd need to have another shower to really get the smell out. After the movie, I split off from Orlando, who ducked into his room to get ready for bed. It was late, and I was fairly certain I was probably the last one up with how quiet it was. Fuck, fuck, fuck! Tyson? It was faint, but I could hear him muttering to himself in his room. Tyson looked up at me as I eased the door to his room open. You okay? Yeah, I just didn't know I'd left the door open. You're shaking. To make matters worse, his fur was a mess, parts of it matted and other parts just missing and now strewn on the floor. I was by his side in a second, looking him over. No sooner than when I was in arm's reach, he grabbed me and clung tight. I fucked up bad. I fucked up real bad. How bad are we talking? What happened? I don't know. What am I gonna do, Dave? There were only a number of instances where Ty had called me by my name, and none of them good. He had a whole list of pet names, but when he dropped my name, it was serious. Tried thinking back, what was he even doing this evening? Then it hit me. The next word out of my mouth was barely whispered. Yeah, I can blink now. Yay! Hoss. It was enough to make Tyson flinch, and he held on to me tighter. I didn't mean it! I shook him gently and he crumbled, collapsing onto the floor. Ty? What did you do? It took him a few moments before he looked at me, fearful, more fearful than I'd ever seen him before. I killed him, Dave. He's dead. What? No, you couldn't have. I shook my head, but Ty's expression didn't change, shifting only to the floor instead of meeting my gaze. Ty, tell me what happened. Okay. Tyson started walking me through from when Haas approached him, then when they ran into Orlando in the kitchen before heading down to the gym. Apparently, things were going alright before Haas started pressing... Actually, I called him Horse. Haas started pressing him for information. Information that Tyson didn't want to give me willingly. But as he said, Haas wanted to know just what relationship we had, and Tyson told him. Which apparently had made Haas say something provoking enough that... And then I just lay into him. 2 hits and he was on the floor stone cold. The fuck am I going to do, Dave? I can't... I couldn't help but hug him. Part of me still wondered if Haas was actually dead, but I knew that right in front of me, Ty was hurting something awful. But if he'd left Haas on the floor, we had to do something about it. Ty, I need to go check Haas. Maybe he's not dead. Ty remained silent, keeping his gaze elsewhere. Anything I should know about? Is he still on the floor? Tyson shook his head, speaking in a half mumble. Tried to wake him up. Oh, God damn it. Headphones. Fucked. Tried to wake him up by putting him in the shower. Left him there propped up against the wall. Okay, he might just be unconscious. Let me go check it out. I left Tyson a mess on the floor of his bedroom, closing the door behind me. There was a pit in my stomach that grew with every step towards the basement. He could just be unconscious. He's probably fine. I didn't want to believe Haas was dead or that Tyson had killed him, but it was something that had to be checked. I reached the basement, immediately feeling like I shouldn't have come alone. The whole place was quiet and the gym had a certain smell to it. Not musky as I had come to associate it with given how Tyson's frequent visits, but something more metallic. He said in the shower, right? Haas, you in here? No response. I breathed in deep, chanting in the back of my mind a prayer that Tyson hadn't killed Haas, and I wasn't about to walk in on something. I closed my eyes right as I got to the lockers, the metallic smell hitting me even harder to the point of making me almost gag. What? Thank you. Pretty boy dead. My eyes were drawn to the pool of red coating the floor of the shower, trailing up to the object sticking out of Haas's chest. I wobbled, bracing myself on the wall nearby and willed myself not to faint. There was no mistake, Haas was dead. Haas? I stared at his face, my mind racing. Did Tyson do this? Was he just lying about what he did and how he left his body? Then there was an issue of a knife. Where did it come from? Who used it? And why? Heard footsteps behind me and I froze, my breath catching in my chest. They were slow, deliberate, and I turned around to see who was there. Roswell! I crossed the distance between where I stood and where he waited, the middle of the gym between its entrance and the showers. There's been... Haas's...
Dead?
How did you... Roswell just shook his head.
The blood. I could smell it when I came downstairs with how strong the smell was.
He trailed off, the rest of his thought apparent with the cold logic of what that smell of blood could mean.
Dave, were you the one who...
No! I wasn't sure what to say. I couldn't rightly tell Roswell I was down here checking out if Tyson had killed Haas, not immediately throwing him under the bus.
If it wasn't you, that leaves Tyson, Sal.
I flinched when Roswell started painting the picture himself, but he continued on as if he hadn't noticed.
Maybe Haas himself, it was a suicide. Benson, maybe, he's a wild card. Those are the ones that came down here most often, right?
Right. Moments passed as Roswell continued to think, his brow furrowed as the cogs in his head turned at an alarming rate.
Cause of death?
I gestured behind me, gulping. My throat was dry, unsure of where Roswell's train of thought was leading him. It'd be easier if he saw, and part of me didn't really want to describe what I'd seen anyway.
Oh no, I don't want to see the body. Just thinking about it makes me feel, not all that great. But we should call the police, maybe let the others know so we're all on the same page.
Roswell led the way back out to the foyer and then headed upstairs to his room. He was taking it better than I expected, but maybe he was just treating this with cold logic to get through the bad news as he was prone to do. Me, on the other hand... Tyson was right where I left him, on the floor, broken. Ty, buddy? He didn't move, barely breathing. I knelt next to him and shook him gently. I need you to tell me what you did to Haas. Please, it's important. I cradled Tyson's jaw, lifting it slightly so he was looking at me. He let me move him effortlessly, eyes glassy and vacant, but slightly puffy from where I had assumed he'd been crying. All right, pup. All right. His words were croaked out, volume brought down to a worried whisper. I punched him twice, I guess in the face. When he hit the ground, I dragged him to the shower to try and wake him up with cold water. Didn't work, so I bailed. Just a fucking coward! Alright, if you did nothing else, you might be okay. Ross was calling the police, so we'll just have to see how it goes. I rounded everyone up so we could wait for the police. Despite the state I found Haas in, they took Tyson away for questioning first. I went second, then Roswell. It didn't go well. We were there for another day before Benson had arranged for us to go. Police had already started scoping out the crime scene, so us being around was just being in the way. Dean drove me home from the funeral, a lot of us still reeling from what could have happened, even after a week. He walked me in my front door, the two of us waiting for the other to say something first. So, you going to be alright? Yeah, I think so. You have my number, right? Call me anytime you need anything, Dave. Anything at all. Okay. Thanks, Dean. Yeah, I'll let you get some rest. Wait. Last I heard, Tyson was being pinned for it. We hadn't heard from him since we left, and his ride home was in the back of a police car. Do you think Ty did it? No, well, it'll be something that comes down to what's proven in the court, right? Do you? Think he did it, I mean. I don't think so, but I wouldn't know who else. What he told me before I found Haas didn't line up with how I found him. Well, I guess we'll just have to see. Hope for the best and deal with it as we find out. If he's innocent, then maybe we can go out for drinks or something. Yeah. It'll be alright, Dave. Might not happen right away, but it'll happen. Oh, almost forgot. I was giving this to give to you. I wasn't really paying attention at the time, but, yeah, here. Dean reached into his back pocket and handed the crumpled letter over to me, the seal broken. Sorry, I must have sat on it in the car. You should probably read it. I took it from Dean and unfolded it. Who's it from? Dunno, just signed O.H. at the bottom. Ringing a bells? I shook my head reading the contents of the letter. To the holder of this letter. I trust that despite all things you are well, or at the very least well enough to be on the road to recovering from this tragic loss. I need you to remember this word and remember it well. Heroism. I blinked and looked to Dean, waving the letter in my hand gently. What is this? I looked back down at the letter, realizing there was more written. Held up a finger to cut Dean off and continued to read. It was a trait Haas always aspired to, but he just wasn't ready for that fight. Not yet. Or maybe it was just that his villain rival was too strong? Regardless, carve that word into your heart and make the world a better place in his stead. I don't know what to think at first. Angry, frustrated, insulted. I cycled through them pretty quickly before I looked Dean in the eye. Dean, you read this, right? Yeah, sorry, I assumed it was for me at first and was on auto most of the day. Okay, what's your take? Dunno. Was a bit to take in, but I guess I can kinda understand it. Go make the world a better place because that's what Haas was trying to do, or some. Hang on, I'm going to move Theta over a little bit. I'm gonna move him over a little bit. Further into the corner. To the gay baby corner. Further into the gay baby corner. So that way I can see this a little better. What? What? My mind began to race with ideas, trying to decipher what the letter was trying to mean. Call it a way to cope or a sudden stroke of inspiration, I wasn't sure which was more accurate. Can we meet for lunch or something tomorrow? I guess. I'm not doing anything. Good. I just want some time to think things over and then want to know what you think about it. Alright, I'll come pick you up tomorrow. Just don't go coming up with any crazy ideas. The following day, Dean and I had lunch and pitched the idea of joining the police force. I told him about how when I visited my mother to tell her, she was vehemently against it. Dean, though, was on board. I wasn't sure if the letter spoke to him in the same way it did to me, or if he was just taking the career path that seemed the easiest. But we applied for the academy that day and moved in together to keep things easy. Dean was rapt at the prospect of, obviously, having me in such close quarters nearly all the time. Which I think is why we actually started dating proper, really. Although it wasn't dating so much as we were living as a couple for so long one night, it just all sort of came to a head and became official. With Dean by my side, I felt that I could make the world a better place and live up to what that letter hinted of what Haas's wants for the world were. I don't know how well we were going to do, but we were at least going to try. Bad and Haas. Resonate? Yes. Yeah, I already read all this. Heroism. First, I didn't think anything had happened, but I was suddenly blinded by a bright light, or at the very least, the flash from the LED panel seemed brighter than it should be for a split second. As I rubbed my eyes, the colors morphing into a picture at the forefront of my mind. My breath caught in my throat as it took form. What? I'm not even going to answer that question. Because I don't know. I shook my head hurriedly, cursing at how messed it was that I was imagining Haas dead. Once more came back in full force, taking shape in the same way as if it were a memory. Ugh, what the hell? I looked at the LED panel, still rubbing my head. Had it just given me some sort of vivid hallucination? I grumbled, looking around the room again. It was something to keep in mind anyway. Didn't cost anything to be careful, but before anything else, I needed to get ready for breakfast. Again, not even a question. It's Haas. Gonna ride her bicycle. Fuck the treadmill. We're just speed running. Again. Which one? No, but for you. But yeah, which one? First one? Like, if it's part of the show, we see what happens. That's how it went down. That's how it went down. That's canon, right? Sure, but what about things like comics or the movies? They're canon too? All of them? Well, I guess. Haas being scary. We're just gonna go with guys like us. Wait, what? Judges of Dave, is Tyson your big bad or the hero? Is Tyson the big bad or the hero? Okay, I'm actually starting to, okay. Dragon, Amethyst, can you two please calm down? Please calm down. Yeah. We're not gonna lie to him, because we're gonna be a good potential boyfriend. It only took a moment before that recollection came back, seeing Haas like that. Wait! Haas looked at me funny and I couldn't blame him. That was several levels too loud and my voice cracked from the sudden outburst. Maybe Tyson isn't the best one to go talk to. He can be a bit touchy. Oh yeah, you just said that. About personal stuff, I mean. Chances are you'd have a fight on your hands the moment you started prodding him for information. I gulped, watching Haas process the information. He didn't seem convinced, though. Well, not as if there's another good option, at least from what I can tell, unless you have a suggestion. What about Orlando? He's pretty honest about himself. You know, that's probably the safer bet anyway. Let's that guy get into a fight with Orlando anyway. Good call. I watched Haas for the next few moments. It seemed as though, as simple as that, he was dissuaded from engaging Tyson. If there was any truth to what I saw, he should now be safe. We're gonna believe him. We're gonna believe the lion. We love him. Pretty much with heating up pizza before going to hang with Hoth. Really have some questions for me? I'm flattered at the attempt, but if you ask me, I don't know what I'm going to say. Any advice? I sighed out. It seemed as though whatever I had seen wasn't going to come to pass now. I guess just be honest. It might seem a little odd, but hear him out. Hoth and I have spoken loads of times. How this be any different? He was talking about trying to be truer to himself, so I don't know. If he seems different, that might be why. He's still our friend, though. Oh, for sure. Although that does make me wonder, why now? What changed? I'm sure if I ask him, he'll tell me, right? Orlando pulled the pizza he was heating, checked it, and threw it into the microwave for another minute. Rest of it's in the fridge, yeah? Yeah, but don't take both plates. Promise Benthany could have the stuff on the other plate. Went over to the fridge and pulled out one of the plates, the other seemingly with the same amount of pizza I had just removed. I didn't know Benson liked pizza that much. Almost seemed like he was asking on behalf of someone else, but we're the only ones here, right? As far as I know, yeah. Ah, well, suppose it doesn't matter, really. Once the microwave chimed, Orlando took his pizza out and stepped aside so I could reheat the slices I wanted. Alright, I'll leave it to it. I'll let you know how it goes tomorrow. Orlando hurried away, already biting into a slice before making it all the way through the door. Once I'd eaten, I made my way back to the foyer, the sound of a coming storm rumbling somewhere far off. Oh, Tyson, what's up? Tyson looked up from his phone while he was just sitting on the stairs, shrugging. Not much. You? Just ate. Cool. Heading to bed? Probably. Not much else going on, I think. Yeah, you look wrecked, pup. Go get some sleep. Went to walk past Tyson before I felt something bugging me in the back of my mind. It was probably nothing, but Ty was one to give it to me as it was. Can I ask you something, Ty? Sure. What's up? Weirdest thing happened to me today, but I'm not sure if I'm just overreacting or just something else. That's not a question, but yeah, you're a dork, so what? No, not that. I think I got the vault to open earlier and it showed me Haas dead. Oh yeah? Seemed pretty alive to me before. Am I crazy? I was convinced that if I didn't try doing something that he'd be killed tonight. I'm saying it again. You're a dork, but... Tyson sighed and got up, putting his phone away before throwing his arm over my shoulders and walking with me upstairs. Nah, I don't think you're crazy, pup. I think there's a lot of crazy people in the world, but you're just... After a few minutes of watching Ty search for the word with a scowl on his face, he sighed and seemingly gave up. Look, if you ask me to trust you on something, I'm gonna do it. Say open the vault and save the kitty, then whatever. You did it, and I'll back you up if anyone says otherwise. Hey! Haas is not a kitty. He is Pretty Boy. Haas is Pretty Boy. Get it right. I still can't get over the blank. Haas is a pretty meow meow. He's a pretty boy. Pretty boy. Pretty boy go meow. Back you up if anyone says otherwise. Really? I'm not the brightest, but I'm not stupid. I've been called worse, pup. Trust me. You're better at this stuff than I am. Best I can do is hitting you upside the head if you start fussing over it too much. When we got to the top of the stairs, Tyson smacked me on the butt and continued on towards his room. Don't lose any sleep over it, pup. You're alright. See you in the morning. Ah, fuck. Oh no, Windows. Yay! Yeah, no, we're just gonna speedrun this. Fuck you, Oz. Then I suppose ensuring Haas watches his mouth around Tyson was just friendly advice. Granted, given how abrasive he seems, I can hardly blame you. I gotta ask Oz. I need to ask Oswin what he thought of the pizza. How did yesterday go with Orlando? Well, he had some interesting thoughts on the subject. What exactly did you tell him, though? I wandered over to get my phone, tucking it in my pocket before making my bed. I was up front and honest about what I was feeling. Told him that I don't feel as though he knew the real me. Honestly, I had to pry him off me with how he kept going on about how proud he was of me for coming out of the closet. What? What? What?
I'm sorry, what the fuck?
I don't like how this is going. I mean, congratulations on joining the LGBT community. Or, I guess, already being part of it. Congratulations. Plug my phone back in. Congratulations. But that is a huge fucking ball to drop. Like, at that point, that's not a fucking basketball that you drop. That's a fucking... the fucking moon. Fucking meteor that... fucking... I don't know. Fucking meteor that caused the dinosaur extinction. I don't fucking know. But, damn! I stopped fluffing my pillows to stare at him, confused. Wait. So you're gay too? No, bi actually, but that's not important. Oh, well alright. He dropped an anvil on our heads and didn't allow me. A lot of it was that Orlando kept reinforcing that we were still friends, that he was willing to help me in whatever way he could. To be honest, it was really... I don't want to say full on, but it was stressing me out. I tilted my head at him, curious. Haas always seemed calm and composed. Maybe that was part of his act? His support was stressing you out? I don't want to say that Orlando's too nice, but you're on the money about him being a good one to talk to. I know a bunch of advice about what really matters. Well, alright, that sounds like a good thing at least. What's the next step, though? Funny you should say that. So at some point last night I went back to my room. I left a note of random words that I brought to Orlando, given we were still just hanging out. Oh, was that bad? Mention of random words made me feel uneasy. Wondering if this was going where I thought it would. I wouldn't say bad, just... Well, consider what it'd be like to head into your room to find a note that someone else left. If anything, it's rude to go into someone else's room without permission. Oh, thank you. Yeah, there's new Theta. Theta V4. Yeah, I think I can understand that. After talking about it with Orlando, we figured we'd see if there was any use for these words. Maybe there was a clue. What, like potential passwords to the vault? Well, yeah, actually, how did you know? Oh! I couldn't keep looking at Haas, instead laughing. Just a hunch, promise. Remind me to teach you how to lie better. Orlando thought that we should bring you along too, may as well, right? Orlando suggested it? Why? Don't really know, wouldn't tell me. Did seem distraught about the idea, though. Come on, won't take long and then you can get to coffee, promise. Well, okay, but only if we're quick. Well, let's get going then. Fuck off, Windows. I gulped, seeing that word appear on the piece of paper, knowing full well what this list could be and suddenly feeling ill. My head began to spin a little, eyes still continuing down the list. Suspend, matrimony, peacekeeper, deluge. This is an odd list of words. Any idea what they mean?
I've only just seen this lion once. Now I wanna fuck him.
I mean, there's no point in hiding it. God damn it. God damn it. Clicked the wrong button. I clicked the wrong button. Wrong button. Any idea what they mean? I feel like you're leading us along here, maybe a little bit. Why else would we be meeting in here otherwise? Fair point! Yeah, I feel like these might be potential things to share. I wondered what would happen if I tried inputting the word that made me see Roswell again. I wandered over to the keypad, taking a deep breath in before quickly punching it in. A few moments passed before... Huh? What, are you expecting something to happen? I tried again quickly, getting the same error message flashing up. What word did you type in? Oh, I tried Discovery. Well, I'll just start halfway down the list. Before I could come out with a response, Orlando chimed in. The first two don't really make much sense for a password, right? If this were a video game, then the whole idea about discovering something screams treasure, to me at least. Now, wrong there, there'd be an odd bastard to have for a setup like this. Are we going to take turns or leave it to Haas? I'm going to take turns or leave it to Pretty Boy. Pretty Boy! When the Yee knows. The Yeen is depressed. Oh no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Axel. I just misclicked. I was going to approve it, but I misclicked. And I feel bad. I genuinely feel bad. So don't worry about it. Leave it to Pretty Boy because Vault's scary, woo. It'd probably be faster if you did a Haas, that way we can all get to breakfast. Oh yeah, I'd love a cup of tea about now. Alright, shouldn't take too long. One by one, Haas punched in the words with each one accompanied by an angry beep. That was face scrunched up after each attempt. It seemed that none of them were working. No reason at all. You're almost as bad a liar as Dave. Only reason he's worse is because of that laugh. As if to prove his point, I began to chuckle without realizing it, but once I did, I shut my mouth. Orlando, flustered, was trying to think of something to say in response before I felt it necessary to save him. I think I know the reason. You do? I nodded slowly, turning to Haas. I saw you die, Haas, stabbed in the chest. What? I shuddered, thinking back on what I'd seen. That's not all. I've seen Roswell dead because of this door, too. But how? I pointed at the panel to which we were all familiar with by this point. Yesterday, I tried the word heroism and, well, it showed me you dead. Well, like on a screen somewhere? No, more like a villain, right? I looked to Orlando, worried. How did you... With a sigh, Orlando ran his digits through his beard, moving back to his mane. To be honest, I've been through the same thing. Lucked into getting a word correctly, got a horrible image right in my head soon after. It was scary. You just lucked into the password? Hey, I mean educated guesses. It's what you do. It's what you do if this was a video game, right? Try the things that stand out, pay attention to what seems relevant, get the reward. I was more hoping for the door to open and get some sort of treasure, but no. Just visions of murder. Worst side quest ever! Haas looked to Orlando with a sigh, attention on him after hearing that he too had used the vault to the same result that I got. Well, that answers my other questions about the door not being opened. What word did you use to see me dead? Should I be worried how the both of you are imagining me dead? I can't tell if you're lying really well or just both still half asleep in mid-nightmare. I looked to Orlando, curious about what word he'd used, but found he was already looking at me, visibly upset. Something seemed off here, but he wasn't paying much attention to Haas's question. I don't. He shook his head, trying to change the subject. Either way, I'm going to go prepare breakfast. I could use a cup of tea as it is, but I get coffee started too because it looks like David's needing it too. Worst side quest ever. 4 out of 10. Not enough EXP. One skip. But the side quest is important for the main storyline. We gotta save Princess Dave from the evil mansion. You gotta slay the evil dragon, Lord Memphis, to save the Princess Dave. Orlando hurried out of the room without a word, ignoring the hard stare Haas was giving him. Well, that was odd. No kidding. I felt Haas's attention turn to me, the stare unwavering. This thing you saw, with me dead? Oh, what about it? Was it before or after we had a chat by the pool? It was before, why? Haas scratched his chin, thoughtful. There were a few moments of silence before he sighed out. I'm guessing that's why you redirected me to Orlando then? Oh, I wondered why that was the case. Part of me wondered if you were scared I was going to get hit on by your older brother. I was scared I was going to hit on your older brother. That's what he used to do, right? At least that's what it seems like. It's complicated, but yeah, something told me that you and Ty would clash after that conversation. He's a bit... I pulled a face trying to find the word to best describe how Tyson could be. Picky wasn't the right word, nor was sensitive. Granted, both weren't exactly wrong, just not entirely accurate for this case. Well, here's my take. It must suck being down here by yourself. He's really only got you from what I can tell, so I'm willing to give him a shot. Really? Yep. Might see if he wants to watch some anime or something, maybe find something he likes, unless you already know. Not really? I mean, that's cool that you're going to reach out like that. It makes me feel better, that's for sure. No sweat, but if he starts pushing me away, though, I've got better things I can be doing. Some people just can't work out as friends after all. This is Lug's origin story. Right? Well, that seems fair at least. But now, breakfast? Yeah, after all that I could use some coffee. Maybe a muffin or something. Or fruit, that's good. Well, let's go find out. We headed back up to the dining room, my thoughts of imminent coffee hurrying me along. When we got there, I found a spot and poured myself a cup. Haas, however, went into the kitchen, presumably looking for Orlando, given he was missing too. Haas winked at me when he noticed I was staring, and I turned away quickly to drink from my mug. He was a self-admitted liar. At the very least knew when other people were lying. Maybe he was putting on an act and was potentially the murderer? Seems odd that he'd say he was trying to be better about being true to himself unless that was some elaborate double bluff. Coming to theaters this winter. Lug. I flinched, trying to stay calm. I didn't really know why, but something told me that this was a recipe for disaster, but I figured it'd be best to ask first. Oh yeah, I don't think I've carved a pumpkin in a few years though. What about you, Haas? Me? Yeah, you've done the carving thing before, right? Same as you, I guess. It's been a few years, yeah. So I was just distracted about some. I looked at Haas confused, tilting my head. Roswell grunted, seemingly just as confused. Hang on, I'm curious about something. And this will decide whether or not I make this joke. Yes! Aww. Aww. My disappointment is immeasurable and my night is ruined. if there is a god, then he's not fucking real, or he's not a good god. Because lions can't purr. They can't purr. They can do biscuits, but they can't purr. Which means if I were to give Pretty Boy Haas head scratches, he can't purr. I looked at Haas confused, tilting my head. Roswell grunted, seemingly just as confused.
Why what?
I just remembered that I owed Dave an apology for yesterday. That must have really come out of nowhere, so sorry about that. All true, though, and I tend to keep what I said the truth.
You lied about something? I don't get it.
It's not important.
You can't say things like that and just expect me to not want to know.
Okay, the broad strokes are that I promised Dave that I'd try and be less fake. I sort of dumped it on him after grilling him about why we're not better friends.
Oh.
I could tell Roswell was reeling from the sudden confusion and not really knew how to process it. His eyes kept darting from Haas to somewhere else, anywhere else, only to return to the lion.
Well, that's...
It's not that bad, Roswell, promise. Haas is just, trying to be a better person.
No, not that. I guess I'm just curious.
About what, though?
About what parts of our friendship were true. If he was faking, how much of it was an act?
Wait, no, I didn't mean... I have knives. I'm sorry. Orlando. Baby. Durg. Please. Put the murder weapon away. I have knife. Was it something I said? Oh no, just, I looked between the three of them needing to say something. Anything at this point to break the silence. We're all friends, right, Orlando? Of course we're friends. The anime club Tomodachi is the real deal. What? Why wouldn't we be friends?
Yeah, you're right. Friends.
Friends. Now. Pumpkin. Tomo's your Dachi's, oh no. The anime club Tomodachi. Oh, been hiding something from me, Dave? No, I'm not. Honest. I picked it up in the greenhouse, under the pumpkin. See? I showed both him and Orlando. Haas plucked it out of my hands carefully. Oh, it's Doris. Hiya. He passed it back not a moment later. Guess this means we're tied, huh? Sadly. I was liking being in the front. Just means I need to redouble my efforts. Just remember, 00 is still 0, Orlando. You may have lucked out in the maze, but you're going to need to put in the work now. Ty, everything alright? Oh yeah, everything's fine. Haas just beat me to it. Oh, alright. Hey, Roswell. Oh, thank you.
Yes?
You mind giving Orlando another set of hands to finish things up here? I have to get a certain hyena cleaned. Wait, I'm still here? I think Dave was able to wash himself, huh? After that warning from Tyson explains why I didn't wash out the chlorine from his fur properly yesterday. I shrank into my shoulders, laughing bashfully. There were just some spots it was too hard for one person to reach. Thus the brush. But oftentimes I just forgot or still missed that spot anyway.
Is this appropriate?
Yeah, I'm not going to be jumping in with him, don't worry. Just going to make sure he gets it all out. Unless we want to a bright orange hyena from the pumpkin staining his fur.
Oh, good point. Carry on then.
Well, I guess we'll handle the cleanup here while you handle cleanup on Dave. Wait, don't I get a say in this? No, now come on, you. Time for a bath or, well, shower. Why are you blushing? Next, I was thoroughly marched upstairs, Haas guiding me along by the shoulders. Sal shot us a confused look on the way out, but made no effort to intervene. Where does it take place? I don't know why, but I'm getting Michigan vibes from this, either Michigan or Missouri. Not Iowa. Maybe Utah? No, I've been in Ohio. I don't think it'd be Ohio. Ohio just doesn't have the right vibe. Oh, I got it. I think it might be Louisiana. Next, I was thoroughly marched upstairs, Haas guiding me along by the shoulders. Sal shot us a confused look on the way up and made no effort to intervene. Alright, strip down and get in the shower. What? Like, right now? You both have a dick, Dave. My younger brother even has one, so what? Okay, so, for starters, that was maybe only the second thing worrying about this. Did you want me to undress too? That'd be a bit too much like Dean, wouldn't it? My cheeks went red mid-rebuttal. Not really sure how to continue with how flustered Haas had gotten me only after a few statements. Seriously though, get those gloves off and get in the shower. What are you going to do? Me? For starters, I'm going to go to my room and get clean. I'm a lot less messy than you are. Hey, I'll be done in no time. No. You are going to keep scrubbing until I get back so I can check. Ugh, fine. Let me get my scrubbing brush. After I retrieved it from my bag, I showed Haas, who seemingly was satisfied enough to leave me be. I wandered into the bathroom and stripped down, setting the water to hot and getting into the shower. Maybe I went overkill on the temperature as I yelped the moment I stepped in, but quickly acclimated to the water. The water ran tinged with orange as the pulp and seeds that had stuck fell from my fur to the floor of the shower. More again when I lathered up and started to tease bunches of my fur with shampoo. Sometimes I wish I wasn't so fluffy. I continued cleaning, grumbling as I did so until it was time to use the brush. Bracing myself against the wall of the shower, I started to scrub my back. Not being able to see which parts you'd gotten made being thorough difficult, especially when there was one spot in particular you always missed. After repeating the whole process a few times, I heard the door to the bathroom open and I immediately covered myself with my hands for modesty. Still scrubbing? Yes! But did you come into the bathroom? Hey, you still got the shower curtain. It wasn't like I was going to just walk in and see through a glass door. But you could have. And how's this old? Not likely. Either way, let me see if he got everywhere. I barely had time to turn away from Haas as he flung back the curtain. I even tucked my tail between my legs, nervous, just waiting for the cat call. It never came. Instead, he was gentle, staring at my neck and teasing the fur to inspect it. He worked lower, only getting as far as just under my shoulders before I couldn't feel him touching me anymore. Yep, looks clean to me. I brought something that might help your fur, though. To get dry and meet me out in your room once you're decent. But my clothes are out there still! Oh yeah, but you're not putting that hoodie back on until it's clean. You can wear something else. And a towel will do fine. You can get changed after I'm gone. I kept my eyes glued to the tiles in front of me, but I could hear Haas backing out of the bathroom and closing the door behind him. More breath I had been holding in came out as a relieved sigh, not knowing if it was because I was deemed adequately clean, It was because he saw me naked for the most part. Rinsing once more and shutting off the water, I grabbed the towel I'd left out and gave myself a preliminary dry. Next came the blow dryer, my smile broadening as the hot air made my fur fluffy and warm. Normally would be the time I'd brush or be brushed against my will, depending, but I figured the less I messed with it, the better until whatever Haas wanted to do was done. Haas was waiting on my bed, coiling part of his mane idly around a finger while he held a small container in the other. All dry? All dry. Held the towel protectively around my waist, wandering halfway to the bed and stopping. I'd stop there, either up on the bed or nail on the floor facing the other way, come on! Shuffling closer, I opted with sitting on the edge of the bed next to Haas, only for him to roll back and kneel behind me. Haas, what are you... Oh. Almost immediately after he was in position, he started kneading a spot on my back, a little ways down from my neck. It felt sore and then good, then back to sore and then relaxing. You're tense. Because you walked in on me in the shower! It's not that big a deal, I didn't even say anything. Which one? Were you hoping to, or good? How badly do we want to tease him? Okay. Haas stopped, hand moving from that spot to my back up to my shoulder, dipping me back enough so that I could look up at him. Why? Are you offering? Stop a minute for the ad. I'm gonna reread that line. Odyssey. No. It's only 30 seconds, I think. I don't know. Yeah. Why? Are you offering? I felt my cheeks go red and I started to stammer out a reply as he eased me back into position, but couldn't come up with anything good as a retort. Next, I heard him open that tub, a pleasant aroma wafting from whatever was inside. Oh, what's that? Product stuff that I use for my fur to keep it healthy. But what's that smell? Huh? Oh, this stuff smells like coconut and lime. Here. Haas handed me the container, a thick white substance contained within. As I held it up to my nose, that strong, pleasant scent took me over. Ooh, it reminds me of the beach. The beach, huh? I took another whiff of the lotion while Haas started to knead the spot on my back again, working whatever this stuff was into my fur, but then I realized upon pulling the container away from my nose, this was not what Haas was normally like. Conscious of his appearance maybe, but this bordered on doting, right? Very few people had done something like this to me, even discounting my current state of undress. Not that it was a bad thing, but I felt I had to ask. Hey, Haas? What's up? Why are you doing this? I'm helping you out! No, I mean is this just another act? My question went unanswered, with Haas just continuing to massage my back. I shrank, keeping as quiet as he was until he pulled away a minute later. Alright, all done. I handed the container back and he screwed the lid back on, sliding off the bed and wandering towards the door. Haas, wait! He stopped, turning halfway and looking at me with a smile. Are you just faking? Is this real you, or... It's a start. It's less scary behind closed doors, less fear of judgment. This is just a taste, Dave. I'm sorry that it's, well, not the whole deal, but trust me, I'm trying. I don't want to hit the ground running so much as start at maybe a jog first. Okay. Haas rolled the canister in his hand, seeming thoughtful. You get dressed and I'll meet you back downstairs, alright? Take as long as you need. Oh shit. That's right, Orlando got friend-zoned. I'm gonna ask them. Tyson gets bullied. Are we gonna stay or follow Tyson? Are we gonna stay or follow Tyson? Okay, we're gonna follow the wolf. The wolf wolf. Puppy. Whoa, 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 whoa! What was the password for this one? There's a day 7. How many passwords are there? Fuck. Fucking. Oh, this one's betrayal. Okay. Is this what I think it is? From this morning?
What happened this morning?
We were messing around with it downstairs. Apparently this isn't the first time, is it, Dave? I quickly shook my head. No, the last time was, well, it showed me Hosted stabbed in the chest. Are you? Alright, you probably shouldn't be imagining things like that. I think so. Am I done this time? No, this time it was, Benson. Sorry, pretty boy. Just want to give the pretty boy a little kiss goodnight. I shuffled towards Haas, curled up with a blanket, feeling a little odd about how I'd treated him over the past couple of days. Was I too harsh just calling him out like that? He'd only been nice to me, so maybe I owed him an apology. As I got closer, the scent of that stuff he put in my fur got stronger, likely lingering in his mane. It was a calming smell, almost like the beach or someplace sunny. I lay down beside him, wrapping an arm over him and burying my nose into his soft fur, getting a stronger hit of the coconut and lime. Can't sleep? He yawned, shifting slightly but making no effort to remove me from where I decided to lay. His voice held low, likely not to disturb the others. Oh, it's fine, buddy. Get comfy, get some sleep. He left it at that, letting me cuddle in as sleep made its way to me. I was out like a light soon after. I'd made it through another day. I also knew my job for tomorrow was going to be, but by this stage my body needed rest. I needed to find the library somehow and wondered if there was anyone around I could ask. Either way, it was a job for the morning. And we're gonna leave off here tonight. Oh, the woof woof will lick the yeen? Okay. Okay, so reception for this model has been good, so Theta V4 is going to be sticking around. And stay safe, have a good night, and I will see you all tomorrow.